This is my final video in the series that explains how to get data from a Google form into software for data visualization like Flourish. In this case, we're going to get the data into CODAP, which is another software program for data visualization. So we're going to give you a couple of options here. And this one, I think it's going to go pretty quick. We're going to go to, first I Googled CODAP to get to this page. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Launch CODAP. And then I'm going to say Create a new document. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this data that we had. This is the data, the M&M data that came in from the Google form. And here is the data, how we converted it. And it turns out that this converted data is useful for the software called Flourish, but it's also useful for CODAP, and who knows, maybe other programs as well. So the time that we took to write this code, maybe there'll be a payoff in the end for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight this column by clicking on the A, and then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on the B, and now I've highlighted all the data in the two columns A and B. And then I'm going to do Control C. If you're on a Mac, you can do Command C, and that'll copy the data. And now the data's in the clipboard. And now I'm going to go to CODAP, and I'm going to click on Tables and say New from Clipboard. And there's all the data. Now, it went all the way down to 281. The problem is, though, is that this data actually goes down to 282. So something went a little bit wrong, but we'll fix it. And the problem is that it used the top row of data as column headers. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to click on the 1 and then say Insert Case. And so it inserts a new row right above the old rows. And by the way, case is another way of describing one item in the who of your data. The who of the data are usually the horizontal rows, and we also sometimes call them cases. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to go ahead and type red because that's what's up here in the header. And then I'm going to type 7 over here because that's what's up in the header. So I'm basically moving the header information down to this first row. Then I'm going to click on the red and I'm going to choose rename and call that color. And then I'm going to click on the 7 and choose rename and call that count. So these numbers are the count of red M&Ms that each of these people had. And now if we go and look, we should have 282 data points or cases. Okay, now we're going to now go ahead and make this into stacked box plots, and it's really easy in here. We're going to go click on Graph, and then we're going to drag the count down to the x-axis. And finally, we're going to grab the color and we're going to drag that to the y-axis. And what it does is it separates it all out into a bunch of separate histograms. So that's really cool. So now we've got stacked histograms, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is make it into stacked box plots. And that way we'll have a better sense of the median and the quartiles and any outliers. So I'm going to go to click on this ruler. And in the ruler, I'm going to say box plot, and I'm going to say show outliers. And so this kind of does the same thing that we did with Flourish. We can see the box plots and we can see any outliers. The outliers are represented by these pluses. So there and there. Now, you will notice, if you've been paying close attention, that with the other software, I think we had more than one outlier for brown over here and more than one outlier for brown over here. So something did get changed around a little bit, but nevertheless, I believe that it mostly does what we want it to do. We want to have a quick overview of the data. We can always go in and, well, I would say this. It's always valuable to reflect on what you've done and double check and see if there's any mistakes, and especially whether or not the mistakes make a big difference. Okay. So anyways, for now, for show, this is good enough. And one other thing I'd like to do to make the box plots stand out from the dots, I'm going to go and click on the paint tool. Now, unfortunately, we cannot change the color of the box plots, but I can change the color of all the dots. And I'm just going to make them black, and that way we can really see what the box plots look like and differentiate it from the dots. Okay, that was all that I wanted to show you with this. Oh, maybe one last thing. We could save it. We can click here and go save and save it to a file somewhere. But I think that's it. I just wanted to give you guys a couple of ways to be able to compare groups of data. That is kind of the gist of Chapter 4 in our statistics course. And so I thought it'd be really nice if we had a tool that we could use to make this happen. All right, hopefully you got something out of this, and hopefully this will be useful to you.